April is almost over, which means it is time to present you my May TBR. And if I sound a little bit different than normally, I have a cold at the moment and my nose is blocked, so that is why I sound different. I couldn't be bothered to do my makeup today or do my hair, but I still want to present you my May TBR, which is why we are here. Including today, I have 4 days left of April. So before we talk about the books that I've added to my TBR, let's talk about the books that I have left of my April TBR. Because as I said, including today, 4 days left and 6 books left. And the math isn't mathing here. I won't be able to do it to finish my April TBR, and that is okay. The first book that I have left is Ruthless Vows. I will finish this book before the end of April. I have around 100 pages left, and I will probably finish the book tomorrow because my last Read With Me video for this book will go online on Thursday, and I can't wait to see how this story will end. The next book is this one, The Inevitable Ruin by Matt Dinneman, book 7 of the Dungeon Crawler Car series, and I'm almost done with it. Can you see it? I have around 80 pages left, and I will definitely finish this one in April. And I will also try to finish Heated Rivalry. For this book, I am currently halfway through it, and yes, the German version has sprayed edges. This is the first book they translated. So, the first book I'm reading of the Game Changer series by Rachel Reed, and yes, I know this is not the original order. This is book 3 in the original order, but I can't influence in which order they translate the books. And since this is published by one of my favorite German publishers, the Arian Verlag, which I love working with, I was able to get review copies of the whole series. So they sent me book 1 as soon as it was published, and I read the books in the order they will publish them, which will be the next book of Shane and Ilya next. And then we have the original book 1. And yes, I've watched the series before, and so far I can say this book was translated perfectly on screen. It is a perfect match, and I love that. And I'm not loving, but really liking so far An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir, book 1 in the An Ember in the Ashes series. I'm currently 200 pages into the book from 600, and I need to be honest here, I won't be able to finish this until the end of April. That would be way too ambitious with all my other reading projects. So I will continue in May. Like Oathbringer, my long-term project, this is the current state at the end of April. I have already read 800 pages of this book. I have 600 pages still left, so I won't be able to finish it in May, but I will get close to it and will finish this book at the beginning of June. But I won't count this to unfinished April books, because for this book, I have read all the pages I wanted to read in April. So this is the first official book on my May TBR. which means there are now two books left from my April TBR, which are these ones: Young Sherlock Holmes, book 2 and 3. I have started book 2, which is this one. I am 130 pages into it, and hopefully I can finish this one in April. But I haven't even started book 3 of the series, and I already decided to don't start it in April, so I also put that book on my May TBR. So now that we have revisited all the books that are current projects, let's talk about the books that I've added to the TBR. The first two books are ebooks. The first one is The Charlie Method by Al Kennedy, book 3 and the final book of the Campus Diary series. And I am so intrigued to read this book. I've read book 2 now in April, The Dixon Rule, and I really, really liked this book. It was super entertaining, but it also had character development, depth in the story, and a lot of humor, so a perfect mix. And we already had some glimpses of some of the characters of book 3 and some of their problems and concerns. So I'm very happy to continue right away. And I also want to continue another series, or sort of, because it's a spin off. I'm speaking of the Windy City series. And in April, In Her Own League by Liz Tomford was published, a spin off of the Windy City series, a standalone. But we already know the characters from the Windy City series, and I really, really want to read this. Both ebooks are buddy reads. I will read The Charlie Method with Marin because we already read The Dixon Rule together, and I will read In Her Own League with my buddy read partner from the Windy City series, Yassi. And I can't wait to read both of these books. I think I'm really getting back into romance here, and that makes me really happy because I have a lot of romance books on my TBR shelf. But in the last month, I've read mostly fantasy, so I don't mind the change, and I will definitely also read fantasy and sci fi and some murder mysteries, maybe. I like the mix of genres. So, the next book I want to read, or more want to start in May, is A Parade of Horribles by Matt Dinneman, book 8 in the Dungeon Crawler Car series. And this book will be published on May 12th. So, I don't have it here yet, but I want to continue the series as soon as this book is published. I will probably read only a few chapters per day because they are very, very info heavy, and I feel overwhelmed by the amount of information quite fast. So I will take my time with it, probably finish it in June, but want to start in May. Which means we can now get to the physical books that I want to add to my May TBR. And the first book is a continuation of a series that I've started in March. It is Fairy Wolf by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti, book 3 of the Darkmoor Penitentiary series, a dark fantasy reverse harem story. And now, two books in, I can say I'm liking the story so far. I'm liking it more than the Ruthless Boys series, not more than a Zodiac Academy, but I have a great time with it and can't wait to continue. And I also want to continue the An Ember in the Ashes series with Book 2, A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. As I said, I still have 400 pages left of An Ember in the Ashes, but I think I'm able to finish both books in May, and hopefully I will not running too much ahead of my buddy read partner Julia here. She hasn't even started book 1 yet. She's behind on a few other buddy reads, but I hope she will join me here again and we can talk about it, because I love my buddy reads, you know that. And I think this is my last buddy read for May. And of course, Dungeon Crawler Carl 8 will also be a buddy read. I'm reading this with my Dungeon Crawler Carl girls. I have read the whole series so far with them, and this is a group project. I can't read the series alone. I would have already DNF'd the series if it weren't for my buddy read girls and our group project, because I need their comments to really understand what's going on. We need the information that everyone is adding to the conversation. But I love that we are doing that, and yeah, can't wait to continue. And I already told you that I will finish Ruthless Vows now in the end of April. So I picked another book for my Thursday Read With Me videos. And I picked The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods. This is the German version, Der verschwundene Buchladen, with sprayed edges. Also from my favorite German publisher, the Adrian Verlag. And no, this isn't a review copy. I've bought this book, and when I posted a story in November when I bought the book and linked the Adrian Verlag, they frowned about it and said, Sabrina, why haven't you asked us if you can get a review copy of this book? We would have sent it to you immediately. Why have you bought it? And my answer was, because I also want to support you, not only by reviews, I also want to buy your books now and then. And what they don't know, that I support them even more than that. I not only buy prints of them here and there, I almost always buy the ebooks when I get print review copies, and sometimes also the audiobooks. Because let's be honest, for example, the Boys of Tommen books are super huge, and for me, it is more comfortable to read them on my e reader or even listen to the audiobook. But I still want them on my shelf. I want to hold them in the camera, like here. And I am so, so grateful that the publisher continuously wants to work with me, that I don't mind to give them my money. So that is okay. And I'm really, really intrigued to read The Lost Bookshop now. I only heard great things about this book, so my expectations are high, and my fingers are crossed that the book will fulfill them. And now we are getting to the end of this video. I have 2 books left that I want to add to my May TBR, which are both from the same series, because I want to continue my reads of young Sherlock Holmes. These are book 4 and 5. I already added book 3 to my TBR, but I think I'm able to read 2 more, so I will add them. I have finished book 1 at this point, really liked it. It gives the obvious Sherlock Holmes vibes that I love, but it also adds something different, and you can clearly see that it is just inspired by the original Sherlock Holmes stories, because the stories are different, the characters act a bit different, especially Sherlock Holmes, because he is way younger. He is still a student and goes to school, and he has to learn a lot to become the Sherlock Holmes we know from the originals. But I love everything about it so far and really want to dive into this series. But that's it for now. As you can see, 7 physical books on my TBR. One physical book will be published in May, so I don't have it here yet. And the 2 ebooks, which all in all is way less than in the month before. 10 books is still a lot, don't get me wrong, but in the last month I had around 15 books on my TBRs. So hopefully this will be not as stressful as the month before. I have a few private events planned, like family birthdays and so on in May. And if I finish all of these books too early, if I have days left in May, that is no problem. I can always pick other books from my TBR, so it won't get boring for me. I will always have something to read, even if I don't go book shopping for another 3 years or so, which is not the case. I always go book shopping because that is another hobby of me. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching this vlog. Please tell me in the comments what you want to read in May. Like this video if you wanna follow my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.